Spacey, sticky, super cush. It just fits different. Experience a new high. Ultra, stay out there.
Megan Hicks of I Run Far. I'm with Kilian Jornet. It's a couple days before the 2025 Western States Endurance Run. Kilian Jornet, here we find ourselves at Western States again.
Yeah, it's been some time, but yeah, super excited to be back here, yeah.
The last time that you were in this part of the world was the 2011 Western States, 14 years ago. A lot has changed about you, about this race, about men's ultra running in general. How does it feel to be back doing something that's familiar yet different?
Yeah, no, you say like the sport has changed a lot, and now just like this week, I remember like 2010, 11, like it was nobody until like 10 minutes before the start. Like the week before, like the village was quiet, and now it's like a lot of people, like runners, fans, and it's great. I mean, like the sport it's growing, and it's more people like passionate about that and going out to the trails, and that's cool, and it's also evolved in a way that I think we have just, I think that we have more knowledge. We have more knowledge on like how to train, how to prepare ourselves, how to manage like hydration, nutrition, and strategy in the race. So like probably we all are running faster, but I think it's just because like the knowledge of like the previous generations it's just like something that we got for free somehow.
Compounding interest.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I want to ask you about this area. You first came to the Tahoe area in 2009 for like maybe it was your first big sponsored endeavor, Kilian's Quest?
Yeah, it was the first year of Kilian's Quest, and the first my first trip to the US, and the first like kind of long run.
Yeah, you came and you ran a fastest known time on the Tahoe Rim Trail. You followed that up for the next 2 years with the Western States Endurance Run. There's something like a magnetic draw to this corner of the world for you?
It is. I think it's like all the Sierras. It's a beautiful part of the world, and this contrast between like the high mountains and the desert. I think it's this contrast that is it's magnetic. Like it attracts us, and the wilderness. I think especially in this part with so much. So much public lands to us, so much more wilderness, and that's something that it's very appealing to all the people that we love mountains and we love like the others.
You have come back to the U.S. a bunch of times since you last ran Western States. You've run Hard Rock, Pikes Peak, Mount Marathon. I don't know if I'm missing.
Yeah, no, just some adventures, mostly in Colorado, I think, like just adventures like in the mountains. But it's been like some time since being here in California.
So 14 years since your last Western States. My natural question is, why now? Why here? Why this?
Yeah, I think it was like many different things that came together. One, it was like motivation, like and that last year I was doing mostly short distance and felt like competitive there, and then like I did a long project in the Alps, and then it was more like, okay, what to do like in competition next year. And well, I wanted to do long distance this year, and then it's not many like races of ultra distance that have a big density of elite athletes, and among them, like Western is probably the one that it fits me the less, and it was the challenge, like of thinking, okay, it's something that I know that it's something more challenging for me, that I will need to train differently, and I think that was the first thing. And last year especially, like it was many of the friends from Romsdal, like Kida and Peter and John that came here, so it felt like I also get more of it. It can be interesting to go back. They just experience that for the first time, and for me it was I think mostly the challenge of like competitiveness and something that I'm not used to.
The Kilian Jornet that was here in 2010 and 2011 is a very different Kilian Jornet than now. I mean, you are a family man. You have a big, small, very busy family. You help lead several businesses. How do you interplay, like being at the top of the sport in like kind of multiple disciplines at this point? Like you can, not still, but you win Sierra Zinal and be competing for the win here at Western States this week, two very different animals. How do you fit maybe psychologically and logistically staying at the top of the sport with the rest of life?
Well, I would say it's about prioritizing things and prioritizing things that matter, and that means that for me, family is the most important. So I don't travel much. Like I will do 1 or 2 travels from every year. So that means that I'm spending most of the time home with the family and being present there. That's also convenient because then I'm able to train more and to train better because I don't need to do many other things that involves traveling. And then like I want to perform well, so like I put effort on that. Like that's my second priority. And then like it's with the time that allows me, I have time like for the foundation and for the company, for normal. But that means that I'm doing less things probably outside of that. Like I'm doing much less when it comes to press or when it comes to other solicitations or opportunities.
Social stuff and
it's just like I can't do everything, and if I want to be living the present and to be present when I'm playing with my kids, and if I want to be present when I'm training, then I cannot be thinking of like, oh, I have a full schedule of like things or calls this afternoon, or like just now I need to stop doing that because I'm late for another thing. No, I want to prioritize what I value and they go from there. And I think that's also making me a better athlete on managing the stress of all these things, just to be able to live presently what I'm doing at the moment.
I wonder a little bit about the psychology of all that going on in the background. Like when you're running really hard, finishing Sierra Zinal, maybe in the hardest parts of this race on Saturday, does all that background stuff creep into your mind? Or are you able to like be in the present racing like you are when you're at home and being in the present with your family?
Yeah, and I think racing, it's kind of very easy to put yourself in that bubble.
Okay.
And I think with experience too, like you get to know that it's a race and it will be hard at some point, but it's I kind of know how hard it could be, and it's something that I have experienced, so I know that it's nothing that hard, like especially I think if you compare to other projects you can like really push the limits
when
much
you've gone
further.
Through the whole Alps.
No, that's like it's like in the race you are I can suffer, but I will be alive like 99.99% at the end of the day. So it's kind of you're glad of that, and then it's just like I think I know that it's some good days and some bad days, and that's part of it. It's not to take it too seriously. It's just like to try to push as hard as I can and to try to use all the tools. But I think also like being more relaxed and being more knowing that it also makes me race better, because I think many times, especially when you are young, you have the pressure to do it well, and you feel that it's very, very important, and that's like the whole world. And then like sometimes you make like mistakes, like tactic mistakes or things like that probably with experience we do a bit less.
I imagine that your training has changed. Like the more youthful Kilian Jornet did big days, just whatever came across your plate that looked good in the mountains. And now you've put out some great stuff about your training, preparing for this, where you are looking into the mountains while on your treadmill, on your bike, in a hot room. The specificity of your training is a lot different now.
Yeah, it is, and especially I think first because like as getting older, like the recovery is not the same, so I need to focus more on what is the most important, and how what's the load I can put to recover well, and then also like I'm doing less races or projects. When I was racing here before, like 2010, 2011, I was doing, I think between winter and summer, like 45 to 55 races per year. So it was a lot. So the training was basically like just to go from race to race, and then like just do nice mountain days in between. while now like I will have like month of preparation before a goal, and that means that I'm training more hours. I'm doing much more hours than before, but because I'm racing less, and then I can periodize more. Okay, like now, since like the last 3 months, I have been like training mostly for Western. So like that means like doing a ton inside in the heat and flat days. But I know that after that I will be doing like mountain days for the next month. So it's more like to try to fit time for everything.
The last time that you were here, the time that you won in would be about a 10th place time in last year's race.
Not even podium on the woman, I think, yeah.
Maybe not even a podium for the women. Things have changed a lot. The race has sped up, but you are a fan of the sport, and I know that you've followed the progress of this race throughout the years. How do you see the men's race going this year?
Yeah, no, I think it's going faster, and as I mentioned before, it's like first year here, like we didn't bring water with us. We were just drinking in the stations, and we had like I was thinking like, yeah, we need to take 1 gel every second hour. So like, and we didn't thought about like cooling. Like it was just get in the river sometimes. Today we know much more about that, so we are able to run faster, and the density is much bigger. So that's also pushing athletes to run faster during the race. So I think this Saturday, it's probably 10-15 guys that can win the race, and that's exciting because it means that some will blow up and some will have an amazing day, and we don't know who is going to be there, but I think we will all push together to have a good times. I think the top 10 will run very, very fast.
You're a close study of the sport and of the race. I'm sure you've looked at the splits, and you know also that the temperature's sort of in the average range for Western states. I think the potential with the competition and the weather is for quite fast times. How do you see the speed of the race going?
Well, I think like it will go out fast, because especially the first hours it will be not warm, and then I think it will be a game like of who can keep pushing. Especially I think it will be very, very warm. It looks like it will be, as you mentioned, like above average, and that means that we really need to manage pace and cooling, because it's going to be fast. But at the same time, like then it's very easy to really blow up, and we need to. I think the stronger, but also the smartest will win.
Best of luck to you in your third Western States, and we look forward to watching you go from here in Olympic Valley all the way to Auburn.
No, thank you very much, and best of the luck for all the runners out there.
Yes. I have a bonus question for you. So you made waves in 2010 here with a fashion statement like America had never seen.
Yeah.
America's still talking about that outfit.
Spandex, Spandex is now back. Yeah. No.
Is there going to be a fashion statement on Saturday?
Not that strong, I would say. Yeah, no. That was the highlight of a career. Yeah.
That was the highlight of your career.
Yeah.
Your greatest fashion statement.
Yeah.
Amazing, Kilian.